Coming back from Hawaii, we had another great trading week, winning 15 out of 19 trades. But that's not the most important lesson from this week's trade that I really want to talk about. What's more important than making money is really understanding that being a profitable trader sometimes consists of knowing when to stop. According to Charles de Gaulle, the army officer and statesman that the airport in France, Paris, is named after, genius sometimes consists of knowing when to stop. And stop trading was exactly what helped me sustain and preserve profits this week. Let's take a look at this week's trades. You're looking at my BK Forex live trading room, and we're going to go back to the beginning of the week. So scrolling up to Sunday, and all of these trades are timestamped. You'll see we ended last week up 182 pips. We did not trade on Monday because it was a holiday. And we waited until Monday night at the start of the Asia session, 8:29 p.m. to be precise. I laid out three trades: long Kiwi Swiss at 65.05, Euro Yen at 131.49, and Kiwi Yen at 78.20. Charts were provided for each of these trades, illustrating, why and where we're getting into some of these positions. Also, I added on a Kiwi CAD trade, so clearly I was long Kiwi in size. We did close out the Kiwi CAD trade because I wanted to switch into Euro Kiwi. There was a more significant divergence in economic conditions in the Eurozone versus New Zealand. I provided the reasons why I like these trades. For example, one of the main reasons why Kiwis was such a hot trade on Monday was because there was a talk that the Reserve Bank could look into raising interest rates. A bunch of local New Zealand banks adjusted their forecast to call for a November rate hike from the RBNZ, which would be far more aggressive than other central banks. The New Zealand business confidence number also turned positive. Kiwi, as you saw in these charts, had already shot higher. But I felt like this was really important news. I thought that, there should be continuation, especially since on these hourly charts, we already had 2 hours worth of consolidation, that these currencies were primed for continuation. So we went into these trades. Euro Kiwi, we got out pretty much just a pip shy of target, and then the Euro Kiwi target was hit. Euro Yen, it closed at 131.49. Kiwi Yen hit target, Kiwi Swiss hit target. Very easy trades that combined fundamentals as well with technicals, which was the zip trading zone, along with the news that the New Zealand business confidence was stronger and the RBNZ could raise interest rates sooner than everyone else anticipated. Then the next morning on Tuesday, I laid out three trades: Euro Swiss, Dollar Yen, Euro Dollar. We actually had some classic, zip signals where Euro Dollar formed the white candle that we were looking for, and it dropped below the indicating line, giving us a very, very clean zip sell signal. Euro Swiss is a variation of that as well. And dollar yen was not a clean zip signal, but we were in the sell zone. I felt like it had more room to fall. Gave the reasons why. It was primarily based upon the German zoo survey coming out much weaker than anticipated, along with some of the technical factors. I closed dollar yen early, which actually was a bad idea because dollar yen actually worked out really nicely. Also closed euro dollar for a small move, and also closed for some small profits. But I indicated that should probably hit target, and also closed Euro Swiss for some small profits. Then in the evening, we had Aussie dollar, Aussie Swiss short trades. Aussie dollar, we had a zip sell signal, and Aussie Swiss also a really nice zip sell signal. And that was because the RBA said no rate hikes until 2024. 80% of Australia's population still in lockdown. There was Australian data disappointment. We closed the Aussie Swiss for a slight loss, and we stopped out in the Aussie dollar. But that's okay. If I showed you only winning trades, then, I would probably be fooling you somehow. But, we trust in zip and we keep plowing forward. On Wednesday, I went short Euro Kiwi off of this zip sell signal right here at the start of the New York Open. Also on this emerging Euro Aussie zip sell signal. I actually doubled up into full position in Euro Kiwi because I believe so strongly that, in the fundamentals where the German zoo survey was fairly weak, ECB was accommodative, RBNZ, the good data and business confidence, along with the talk of RBNZ rate hike would really drive Euro Kiwi lower. So went into full position, banked profits on half of the position Euro Kiwi early, moved to break even, gave you all my reasons, and eventually, Euro Kiwi, we banked 30 something pips on this trade. Also sold dollar yen on this nice little zip zone trade, and dollar yen also banked some profits, and Euro Aussie also hit profits. So we hit profits in Euro Aussie, and I closed this profit target early because that was what got us above our 100 pip target for the week. Asia came around. Dollar yen ended up hitting target. Actually, all the currencies actually ended up hitting target, even though we took profits a little early. Asia rolled around. We had Aussie dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen trade. Aussie dollar chart looks like this in the sell zone. Dollar yen also looks like it was consolidating, then breaking down in the sell zone. Dollar Swiss, was in the buy zone, but I actually abandoned the dollar yen trade and switched over to Aussie yen because Aussie yen, the Australian fundamentals, as I mentioned earlier, as of right here, the RBA maintains a dovish bias and the Australian PMI data was weaker, had a stronger fundamental call. And very quickly, the trade was put on at what time is this? Around 8:30 p.m. New York time, and an hour later, the profit target was hit. Dollar Swiss, I closed out at break even. Aussie dollar, we closed at 74.59. So if we entered at 74.75, we closed our trade 4 pips shy of the profit target. And with that, we made it to 152 pips for the week. On Thursday, I didn't take any trades because I wasn't feeling so great. So on Thursday night, we did take an Aussie CAD trade. And at the time, I actually said that I wasn't seeing any great trades, but this seemed to be the only one that was in sync with the fundamentals. So, we have the Aussie CAD in the zip sell zone. We know that the RBA is dovish. I had a strong opinion that the Canadian employment numbers were going to be strong, but that was it. And unfortunately, it wasn't good enough because we were stopped out on an Aussie CAD trade. But that's okay. We made some good money on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Got stopped out of a trade on Friday. And I decided on Friday morning, there's no trades in the morning. I wanted to preserve the pips. And knowing when to stop, we were already up 122 pips in our Kathy trade signals and another 54 pips, so I'll show you in a second, in the smooth 40, that it was time to stop. I thought, we already met our 100 pip a week target. We had one setback and we were going into Friday. We might as well grab our profits when we have them because, being consistently profitable week after week is also about knowing when to stop. And for good reasons, because come Friday, if any of you saw the charts, there was actually very little continuation on Friday. And it was best that we actually did not trade because we would have probably been in some poor positions. With the Smooth 40 channel, we had 3 trades this past week. The first trade was the Sunday Euro Yen trade. I talked about how the ECB avoided taper. There was a drop in treasury yields. Euro Yen hit target. Aussie Yen, I talked about the Aussie Yen position. Aussie Yen also hit target. Euro dollar 118.44. This one I banked 34 pips on. Aussie Swiss ended up being stopped out. I gave the reasons for that. And Aussie Yen ended up, hitting profit target again. So Euro dollar, Aussie Swiss, Aussie Yen were the 3 trades we took. Some of the ones I talked about earlier were from the prior week, but these were the 3 trades that we took in the Smooth 40 channel. So all in, we made 122 pips for our Kathy trade signals and 54 pips for our Smooth 40 trade. So as I said, sometimes trading is about knowing when to stop. With these trades, we easily surpassed our team's 1% or 100 pip a week goal. And if you want to learn more about how I trade, visit bkforex.com.